everybody. How we doing for this Round the Ropes podcast episode? I'm sorry, folks, if it looks like I'm looking down, but unfortunately the laptop took a major crap on me prior to show time. So, yeah, guys, we are here with a live episode of the Round the Ropes podcast. I'm John, as always. I am joined with Costa and Sexy Ryan. Guys, what's going on?
What's going on, buddy?
Everything's good, boss. I'm excited to talk about that week that wasn't wrestling and the week that you guys had, or the weekend that you guys had.
We're definitely gonna get into that shit.
Oh, we definitely are, because
So let's get into it.
It was a day I'm never gonna forget. Just
All
everything that happened that day.
I'm sorry, a day that you're not gonna forget.
Yes, Ryan, we know you were there before us.
I was there way before you go. We'll get into that.
We'll get into all that. We will be joined though by a special guest tonight at 8:30. Ring announcer Rich Reed will be joining us, who happened to be on call for that show. So we'll definitely talk to him. Ryan, I know you guys finally met for the first time, you and Rich.
Yes, we did, and I was getting into that. But considering, looking at your camera angle, you're looking down on us because you're holier than down now, apparently.
Shut up.
Make me, bitch. Folks, I'm doing great. I'm doing great tonight, so don't piss me off.
Then at 9:15, I have an announcement to make.
All right.
Oh, I know announcement. I know what announcement this is. It's something that I've speculated for a long time. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'll break the news right now. I'm pregnant. I'm sorry.
No. It's your engagement with a certain someone with the letter D.
Moving on.
All right, you're starting to sound like Mr. TK there, Mr.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn the camera this way just because I don't like the way that looked. And
I have an announcement.
no, but Costa. Here's the difference, though.
Okay.
I have an announcement. I have an announcement. I took 2 steps to the left extra. Oh my god.
This announcement that I have is something that's been in the works for some time.
Okay. All right.
And
Can't wait to hear it.
actually helps us out a lot.
All right. Of course.
Because anything that can help the show, I'm all for it. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Of course.
So, before I forget, also, guys, if you have any comments, definitely leave them in the chat below. We'll definitely get to them. If my laptop can actually turn on, then I won't look like I'm sitting in the middle of a urinal right now.
Yeah, you seem like you're sitting in a freaking closet, man. Like somebody locked you.
I'm not. If you can see behind me, it's actually the different side of the room.
Okay. I was just.
It's just a difference because originally, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. Originally, when the laptop was working, it looked fantastic on the camera.
Yeah.
But now on here, it's like, wow, this doesn't look good at all.
Yeah. No.
But let's get right into it then, because
all right.
Holy crap, we have a lot to get to from Saturday.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
So, Ryan, why don't you tell us what it was like at the Super Camp as I tried to turn my laptop on without throwing it against the wall?
So, while Mr. Blaine tries to have a temper tantrum with electronics. Anyway, so as John stated, I was there earlier in the day when I mean early in the day, I mean early in the day.
Yeah.
For the Super Camp. But not as someone trying out. I was there as a scout for one of the companies I work with called Invictus Pro Wrestling.
Oh.
So originally we were told that it was going to be about 70 to 75 people. They had about 175, almost 200.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a clear miscalculation on their part, but it's okay.
No, let's just say they kept adding, which means more money.
Yeah. Of course.
And it was so when the camp was first announced months ago, I've had numerous people reach out to me and talk to me asking me if I was actually going to try out and whatnot. I said, honestly, no, because this was the answer I gave to them. Half of the promotions that were present, maybe even 3/4 of them, I already either worked with or currently work with.
Yeah.
So I felt like, me personally, I didn't feel like it was right for me to try out in front of the people I already freaking know.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't want to, take someone else's spot, that was probably more deserving. Whether it's an announcer, referee, wrestler, you name it.
Now, Ryan, it was not only tryouts for wrestlers, it was tryouts for every part, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I do know one of the refs who actually had to ref a lot of the matches. I think when did the matches start? About 11 or so.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, around that.
A good friend of mine, somebody we actually had on the show, James McGrady, was the one who had to ref most of those matches.
John, I know Jumbo Man longer than you, buddy.
I know. I'm just telling for the people who weren't there.
No, I know, but the way you were saying it was like my good friend in front of the show. I'm like, hello.
Hi, Maron.
Again, folks, the way his angle is, he's looking down on us because he's holier than thou.
Ryan?
Jonathan? Costa? Great. Roll call is here. We're all here.
Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah!
Folks, if you know, you know. But, so we had that.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Costa, we'll explain to you later.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Got you.
Carl and myself got there a little bit after 11. And we ended up going to Wawa because that's what you do in New Jersey. Wow. If you don't want to, when in doubt, just go to a Wawa.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Wawa is fucking king, all right? Just saying.
Oh, no, I totally agree. I really got hooked on the freaking quesadillas that day.
Yeah, I know. It was still in your car the next night.
Okay, well, you don't have to pull back curtain that much there, Peterson.
Coming from the guy who's losing half of his ceiling.
Well, no, that's hold on. Is that better?
Still no, but it'll work.
Okay, because like I said, folks, I'm trying to work on this damn thing so the laptop can actually turn on.
You gotta plug it in first to make it work.
At home. So we went to the
we were at from Iconia to Imeron. Okay, fine.
We were at the tryouts, and I'll give this much. I thought Chad and Donald and all of them at Standalone Wrestling. I actually said this to Carl that day. If I was an independent wrestler, that would be where I would want to be.
Yeah.
For an opportunity, I think, what did it cost? $50?
Yeah.
For an opportunity like that to possibly get seen by people from AEW, NWA, Impact Wrestling, and a lot of the bigger name promotions in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a no-brainer. Carl, go! Don't you have something else to take care of? But yes, thank you for the comment, Carl. I appreciate it a lot. But we got there early, and I give them a lot of credit because one of the guys he was a scout for the camp, and it's somebody who we actually had on our show Saturday was Sean Donovan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, your former Standalone Wrestling champion. We'll get to that momentarily.
Well, way to kind of spoil it.
Well, I will explain how that happened.
Oh, God.
John, get it right. He was the one in charge of the camp.
He was.
It wasn't scouting. He was in charge of the camp.
Okay, that I did not know. That's what I just said. Just like Carl's Caroline has retracted for the last 25 years.
Normally they would ask the guy who's actually a part of the scouts, scouts what it was like, and also the logistics. But no, again, Mr. Holier than thou, Mr. John Blaine decides to take the ball while I sit in the corner like a bump on a log in the bottom of the fucking seat.
Okay, so Mr. Peterson, since you were at the camp,
no, go right ahead. Go right ahead. It's the John Blaine hour. Go right ahead.
Are you seriously going to have a temper tantrum right now?
Okay, You know,
No.
Asshole.
You know, Mr. Peterson, if we give him 1 hour, he's gonna end up taking 3. So we shouldn't do that. It's okay.
Hey, by the way, Costa, how are those Maple Leafs doing with their lack of titles in almost 7 decades?
Children. Children.
Okay.
Yes, man, child. What can we do for you?
No. If there's anybody who's a bad child, it's you.
Fucking Rosado. We'll get to that. We'll get to all that later on. But yes, John. What? So get back to your question. Ask me again.
What were the logistics like on Saturday?
Hot as hell because the building had heat on. No, but in all seriousness, so what they did was they broke it up into 2 separate groups because there was a shitload of them. Group number 1 went out into the hallways to work on promos, which was filmed by GoPro, and you were critiqued by legendary commentator from Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, Mr. Kevin Kelly.
Oh, wow.
Originally, it was supposed to be David Penzer, but unfortunately, Thursday, he made a statement saying that he's not going to be able to make the event at all because he got bronchitis, which sucks.
Oh, wow.
Which then led into, you know what? No, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna be like John and spoil it and spoil the result and wait for the story.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna. Oh, look at that! He's crying. He's crying. I'm kidding, John. I love you. So, and then the other group was still in the arena, and they were doing basic drills. You know, basic front rolls, back rolls, shoulder tackles, and running the ropes. The simple, basic ones, just to see how their footwork is in the ring. And then once both groups finished and whatnot, later on they put people in impromptu matches. There was a lot of matches.
Yeah.
I remember at one point they actually cut the time on some of them.
Yeah, they had to, and also had to cut some of the matches too because, well, they took too damn long. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no. Let me rephrase that. Group number 1 took too damn long in their matches and shit.
Exactly. So you had the tryout camps, which, like I said before, folks, if you're an independent wrestler,
Hey, Jumbo Man!
hey, what's going on, James? If you're an independent wrestler or you're an independent referee or whatnot, this is something I highly recommend because I know they did announce Saturday night they're going to be doing Contest of Champions 2 next December.
Yeah.
So you're not going to want to.
Again, my shoulder hurts. Well, that's what happens when you're ripping 40 matches, Jumbo Man.
But let's get to the actual matches. Nice, James. Glad we can keep you company at work tonight, buddy.
You just call him Jim.
I called him James.
You said Jim.
Ryan, you have to get your ears cleaned out.
I thought that was you.
You're telling me that? You're telling me that?
I'm wearing Bose headphones, okay?
You're telling me this? Oh, John, you have no idea what's coming to you, buddy.
What, another food challenge in Philly?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, shit.
I'm not that stupid.
Actually, you and I were supposed to do a challenge in Philly.
Yeah. You know what? We'll get into that in the TBD. Let's talk about Saturday first. Let's talk about Saturday even more.
Let's get more into Saturday because they had 3 pre-show matches.
Yeah.
Which, folks, if you were watching us on Saturday, you would have heard most of them because, especially, they had the multi-promotional battle royal happening.
Oh God.
Which, by the way, I don't know if they may have not announced it. What did the winner of that battle royal get? I don't remember.
Bragging rights?
Oh, okay. But every time they had somebody come out in a battle royal, I'm not kidding you. They use the same song, "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." And, it just worked out perfectly. That was every time we got a new guest coming on Saturday.
Pretty much. And then the other match was the Leo Sparrow Earth Championship Open Challenge.
Yes.
We were getting into that, Jumbo Man. We were getting into that.
Yeah.
So, which was answered by the difference maker, Trax.
Which I still think Trax I think Trax could eat Leo Sparrow literally.
Yeah, exactly. He can not only eat Leo Sparrow, but he can also bench press you and Carl and Costa and even myself.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
So, Trax won by disqualification, but he did not win the title. And then we go into the final pre-show match, which was, as Jumbo Man said, Shockwave the Robot taking on Wrecking Ball Legursky with Jarrett Silverclight.
Yeah. This one, unfortunately, I didn't really get to see because I was taking care of I think I came back in the room towards the end of that match.
Yeah. Same here.
When Legursky lost.
Oh, because you know why? Because that's when we just finished the pre-show match. We were packing everything up and putting it in the car.
Yes. Yes, which, by the way, let's get into that quickly. If you happen to have had a chance to watch our show on Saturday, I appreciate it big time because that actually became our most viewed show.
And it's still growing.
Done. Yeah, last I started, it reached 1.8.
Well, times will change.
I saw like 2.4 or something like that. It was weird. Like it was.
Still, it was up there. It's up there.
Yeah.
And it's still growing. So, some of the guests that we had on, shut up. Some of the guests that we had on, we kicked it off right away with the now former Standalone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Messiah of Old School, Sean Donovan, followed by the fathers of the style of wrestling that is today, and also my boys, the SAT. And also, while I was doing my due diligence of trying to get some talent to come on, John and Carl were sitting there talking with our guest, Rich Reed, who's going on at 8:30.
Yes.
Anthony Blackwell, I believe, and also one of my bosses, Alex Aceta.
And you're also forgetting one other guy we had on, who was actually a request from YouTube.
Oh, Tantalizing Tony.
Yes.
But then after all that, I'm walking back, and I see John and Carl look at me, and I say, "Ta-da!" And who's coming in to be our guest? Why, none other than JTG.
Yeah.
Great human being, and I'm sure I'm missing other people, but I think, in my opinion, one of the best interviews. One of the best
shows we've ever done.
There was Carl, there was echo all over that building that night. So it wasn't just oh God, Carl, what? Go back to hiding.
That's the
one of
first thing
the
I
biggest
said.
guests we had.
Yeah.
I was getting to it. Carl. I'm going in guest order. I was getting to it.
Okay, because
We had other guests. Yeah, don't worry. I got
the second one. You guys were shocked. I got.
Oh yeah, I was getting to that. I was going in guest order off the top of my head. So, anyway, the best one of all, as you can tell by the sound of my voice, was, in my opinion, I think one of the best fucking interviews I've ever had, and that was Warhorse. Holy shit!
Oh shit! Warhorse was actually in just a side note. Warhorse was actually in Toronto or in Mississauga on Sunday as well.
For Destiny, I believe. Destiny Wrestling up there.
Destiny Wrestling, yeah. He was
Folks, if you're up in that area, make sure to check out Destiny Wrestling. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we had Warhorse on, who pretty much gave me a fucking heart attack. And then we go into one of the bigger guests that Carl was going to describe. But as you know, I was getting to that. How about Frankie Kazarian?
Yeah, that's my boy right there. Let's go.
And that one was I'm not going to get into much details because legally we're not allowed to say anything. But let's just say, if it wasn't for what the event was about, then he wouldn't have done it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm allowed to say.
Okay.
So then we fast forward to I was actually trying to bring on my other boys, the Major Pod, which is Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, but they brought over another friend of ours, someone and representing them, the Italian Stallion, Raleigh Allen, talking about, because he's known Nova for a long time. He's known Aaron Stevens. Oh, and by the way, also in Frankie Kazarian's interview, there was a cameo appearance by Aaron Stevens, which I thought was fucking hilarious. And then Raleigh Allen talking about the tag match. Pretty much saying, the Major Pod got it because Major Pod guys going over because as much as I love Nova, he's a diehard Cowboys fan, and he deserves to lose.
Yeah, basically.
And I know him for probably getting a couple more guests, but the other biggest one of all that actually shocked both myself and John. And this one, I gotta give Carl credit on this one because he's the one that got him. Yes, I'm saying that live in the air, folks. Mr. Roberts. Shut up. And no, will you shut up? This is what happens when I'm a heel announcer. I tell people to shut up, okay? Stop. One of the biggest guests that Carl got was not only a native of Toms River, but also a legendary baseball player from the MLB, most notably from the New York Mets and the Yankees, and also is a 1998 Little League World Series champion, Todd Frazier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
John's face was, you could tell by John's face, he was giddier than a schoolgirl in a candy store.
Well, hold on, let me pull back the curtain a little bit because we're getting towards the end of it. Now, mind you, folks, we were only planning to go maybe an hour and 15 minutes. We ended up going almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
In this pre-show.
And also, we were originally supposed to do 4 to 5 guests. We had about 15.
Yeah. and all of a sudden, when Todd Frazier, all of a sudden, Ryan and I were talking. We're kind of previewing the card, and I look to the corner of my eye. I see Carl walking back, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I see Todd Frazier walking behind him, and I go, no.
John and I looked at each other going, is this happening right now?
Well, I said it to you that night afterwards. It all felt like a goddamn dream to me.
Oh, but wait, there's more that happened that night as well. So then, as we were wrapping up, I sensed a shadow next to me, and I'm looking over like, who the hell is that next to me? It was Pete Rosado. So we brought on Pete Rosado. That motherfucker called me my old nickname I haven't heard in years.
Right, that's one of the guests we had on.
Refresh my memory, please.
Retromania.
I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, we had Mike Herman on.
I was not there for that.
I'm just saying. Are you trying to pull? Never mind.
What the?
Costa, put it this way. picture me, Carl, and Ryan in the same building for several hours on Saturday, and there was like no heat in the building. There was no AC.
Oh shit.
Oh no, it was. Oh my god, they had about a little over 800 people.
Oh shit.
And I made sure specifically that night because I was graced by holding Ryan's sweatshirt that day.
Yes.
Which, by the way, that did not leave my shoulder at all that day.
And I commend you for that. And also, I got to commend Carl again. Also, I was on a rant and I apologize. Not only did he get Todd Frazier, but he also got Frankie Kazarian that night. So, again, Carl, thank you for bringing both of those gentlemen on.
Yeah, thanks, Carl.
And Ryan, you're forgetting one other guest.
Who?
Nova.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Dude, there was Dude, at that point, I was running on fumes, all right?
Yeah, guys, one of the other guests we had on was actually the man who retired that day, and that was Mike Bucci himself, or more famously known as Nova.
Or for those that don't. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Simon Dean, but go ahead. I was going to say Simon Dean.
Carl.
But it was. Let me ask you this now: what was your match of the night?
Oh, well, you know what? Hold on. Why don't we go through the match? Why don't we go through the matches that happened, and then we'll talk about favorite matches? How does that sound?
Absolutely. Right. I'm hoping you have the card up.
I have a pretty good memory, actually. So we kicked off the night with tag team action as the new Graysons, Tommy and JP Grayson, took on the American Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards.
Yeah.
Which the Wolves were victorious. Pretty good matchup between both competitors. Definitely now learn that if either myself, you Costa, you Carl, or more importantly John fucks up anything, we just have to call Eddie Edwards to give him a nice chop. Because those weren't chops, my friend. Those were thuds. So then the next matchup, from what I remember, was a women's match where it was Miranda Elise taking on the female competitor chosen from the Super Camp, which was not recognized at all. It was a number one contenders match for the Standalone Wrestling Women's Championship.
Oh.
And that was, I apologize, I'm trying to pull this up as I'm looking on here right now. Where the hell are you? It was the third.
Miranda Elise.
Oh, there we go. Aha. There we go. It was Miranda Elise versus Christina Marie.
This guy.
And Miranda Elise was victorious. Then we had a first ever. We had no.
Time out.
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Is he here?
Is he here?
I don't know what's happening right now, folks.
I don't know because, like I said,
yeah, he's here.
Oh, he's here. Okay. So, John, you want to do it or should I?
I'll let you do this.
Okay, then. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll get back to the match card. Why, sure, Carl. I will gladly do so. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is time to bring on our featured guest of the evening. And that is the gentleman who at last minute stepped in to announce this spectacular event in Toms River. Ladies and gentlemen, and also the first time that I've ever actually met him in person, which is very strange to this day. But anyway, folks, allow me to present the man who definitely has more style than myself, John, Costa, and Carl combined. And trust me, folks, from what he wore, I cannot compete with that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Mr. Rich Reed.
All right. Woo! Hey,
My man. My man.
how you doing?
Good, man. Still trying to recover. How does that sound?
Yeah, you and me both. You and me both, brother.
But Rich, it's great to have you on actually for a live show because you were on previously for a recorded interview. Which, folks, if you missed that interview, definitely go back to our YouTube page. You can definitely watch that. But Rich, first question I want to get to: when were you first told about that you were going to be doing the ring announcing Saturday night?
Thursday. I got the call from.
Oh wow!
Not the call, but I got the message from Chad, and and it's amazing because I was looking forward to this event, just going as a fan or a supporter, and then I got the message, and of course I said yes. I mean, it didn't take me 1 second to say yes.
Ryan?
So right off the bat, I gotta ask, how did coming from because I've done it before in the past, but let me ask you, how did it feel being in the ring with an icon named Sting?
I got goosebumps, and I've been in the ring with a lot of wrestlers, and I don't get goosebumps very often. I'll be honest. I mean, it's always an honor to be in the ring with people that I grew up with, but Sting, that was a different feeling altogether, and it's just one of those moments. You just, no matter how much you see it on camera, you can't relive it.
Yeah.
You can just try to remember how it felt firsthand, but it was one of the highlights of my announcing career, for sure.
All right, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Speaking of announcing, was there a specific moment or like a discovery that got you into announcing in the first place?
A discovery that got me into announcing. I mean, I kind of fell into it. I was unemployed. I was bored. And a wrestler friend of mine just posted on Facebook that his company was holding auditions. And because I had nothing else to do, I just went and tried. I knew I couldn't be a wrestler, but I said, ring announcer, that sounds like fun. I could do that. And I was always told I had the voice of like a game show host. So
that is very accurate. Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah, I'm like a game show host. And, I had never used my voice for anything but karaoke. But when I just went and I did it, and I thought, at first it was like this cool side gig that I had, but I had no idea that I'd have gotten this far with it. I'll tell you that right now. It's amazing.
Nice, cool story. Thanks for providing it to us. Thank you.
No, of course. Ask me anything.
Rich, obviously, myself, Ryan, and Carl, we were there that night. First of all, I do have to say, it was my first time actually hearing you in action. It's like I've seen the videos and stuff, but I've never actually seen it live in person. And I gotta say, it was one of the better ones I've seen.
Wow.
Especially knowing that, you were only told not even 48 hours beforehand.
Man, I appreciate that because I was honestly nervous. I always get nervous, but I was especially nervous for this one because this was something different. This wasn't just a run-of-the-mill show. So, hearing all the positive feedback, my voice wasn't 100%, but the fact that people still appreciate it gives me, not just a great feeling, but a feeling of relief. Like, whew, I did it.
That's what, to me, with the fact that you were told 48 hours beforehand, that it wasn't like, okay, and I'm not putting down any of the companies that you work for, because like I said, the companies you work for are some of the biggest names out there, but you're told, yeah, Rich, we're going to throw you into an event. It's the biggest event happened in Ocean County history. Guys like Sting, Sergeant Slaughter, Jerry the King Lawler, Todd Frazier, Noah, but they're all going to be there. So here you go, have fun.
Yeah. I mean, I've been asked to do shows last minute, but not a show of this magnitude by any means. I remember that the closest thing was last year, 2021, Shane Fair had an event, Basketball. And that's another event like this one. I wasn't asked to be the announcer initially. I was going to go just as a fan to support. I was still excited about it. So then when he asked me like maybe a week or two in advance, it was just an honor to do a show that I was excited about just as a fan and a supporter anyway. And that's the same thing with this. But 2 days, that was maybe the most unexpected thing that's happened to me.
Right.
So since obviously, first of all, you and I have had numerous interactions online, but it's the first time we ever met in person. So it was nice to finally fucking meet you in person.
Yeah.
Finally. How, in your honest opinion, for the viewers that at home listening or watching, whatever they're doing with this, that were not there, can you describe what the atmosphere was like for the event? Like, because obviously you were dead center in the middle of it all.
It was scary, and I don't have to tell you guys, that was up there with the absolute best crowds that I've ever worked, if not the best. That really was. I was expecting a lot, but when the moment that I walked into the room, it just hit me like, oh shit, like this. And it was intimidating. I'm not going to lie to you. Because there's just so many eyes. You're just in a sea of fans. And I can't even describe it. And the fact, and the fans were so passionate. And I actually said to this to the crowd, if you remember, I said to them, I said, you're such a great crowd. Here we are. It's like the 7th or 8th match. And the crowd is still just as big as the beginning.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. In a good way, of course, because normally around that time, as you've probably seen in the past, I mean, in your many experiences, the crowd's usually falling asleep by the 6th match.
They were not asleep. They were into it all up until the very end. I have never seen anything like that. And that it's not just that they stayed, but the energy was there. And that's what made the event live up to the expectations and the hype. Everything looks great on paper, but you have to see how it unfolds. And I think it unfolded beautifully.
Oh, absolutely. I commend Chad and Don for putting together a wonderful, successful event.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chad Minnis, I mean, and shout out to Chad Minnis, the godfather of New Jersey wrestling.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I don't get to work for him all the time because he has so many different people working for him. But the events that I have worked for him have been nothing short of amazing. I did the one with Mark Henry with the red carpet. I forgot what it was called. The 420 Fest in Atlantic City, the first ever legal 420. And Shockwave, where they did 3 shows in one day.
Oh my God, I remember hearing about that. Oh.
Yeah, it was something. It was hot, goodness, because it was still during the pandemic. I was still dumb enough to wear a suit outside because us announcers.
Hey. Dress to impress. That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
But I will say this, by the way, your suit that you had Saturday was more style than I've ever had in my entire life.
Chef's kiss, perfect.
Yeah.
That actually needs. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
I was gonna say, so that actually, Ryan's last question actually leads into my next question. So, is there a destination or an arena that you want to, that is a dream of yours that you want to announce in that you have not announced in yet?
Oh man, there's so many great companies out there. Of course, I don't have to say WWE or AEW. That just goes without saying. You have GCW. And pro in boxing, and I do. There is something that I'm working on in the world of boxing. I don't want to say too much because it's not written in stone yet, but I think I'm going to have some things unfolding in the next few weeks. I'd love to do a big, grand boxing MMA pay-per-view, UFC. All the big ones, but even if I don't work for those companies and I haven't so far, I'm just happy with what I'm doing right now. And that's the key. You don't want to always look forward. You want to look around, smell the roses and appreciate what you have. And I think we all have a great thing in front of us,
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say this much, Rich, whatever that big project is that you have, we will help any way we can.
I appreciate it, man. You've been a big help anyway, and you've been a huge supporter. This is my second time on your show, and I think like 2 months. maybe.
Well, I'll be honest. When after the show on Saturday, I was like, I want to get somebody on to talk about it. And I know myself, Carl, and Ryan, all three of us were there, but you were in the ring. You got to experience a lot of moments that most wrestling fans would sit there and say, oh, I can live that playing WWE 2K, whatever.
I
You got to live it in
yeah.
person.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I probably shouldn't have said this, but I posted a picture on Facebook with me standing in the ring behind Sting, and then a parallel picture of me shaking his hand. And I said in the post, I didn't get quite the photo op I was looking for, like, side by side. But someone said to me, you shared the ring with him. People would kill to share the ring with him. And that was a heat of the moment, in the moment thing where you weren't posing for a camera. You didn't even know these pictures were being taken. It was just a legit shoot moment. And you could see the legit shoot look on my face. I wasn't smiling for the camera. That was a genuine smile, like, wow, this is happening right now. And to be in the middle of that crowd and then have Sting in the middle of that all, I still can't believe I did it. And again, on such short notice.
Well, I mean, Rich, you didn't have that on your wrestling bingo card of 2022 being in the middle of the ring with Sting?
Not particularly, but something like that. You always want to stand in the ring with someone like that. But, usually you would think you would get, more advanced notice. But to know that you'd be sharing the ring with him just 2 days in advance, opportunities like that don't just hit you in the face like that.
No.
So.
But also, I think a lot of it also is, and I said this on our show when we did our preview show on Saturday, you don't get to where you are without the work that you put in.
Mm-hmm.
And the work that you put in with LTW and SWF and all these other companies, it goes a long way, I feel.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And because that's just how you meet people and your name gets around. I think we all can agree. Wrestling, it's a big industry, but a small one at the same time. It's a small world, and your name gets around more easily than you think.
Well, I kind of noticed that on Saturday when people were coming up to us and they're like, oh, I've heard of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, who? And they're like, oh, you guys, Around the Ropes. I'm like, but we're not a big show like that. And I mean, we had people who were there who were putting us over to the moon on Saturday. And I'm like, again, this is like they're putting us over. Maybe it's just because I'm still so new to the sort of the behind the scenes of the wrestling world,
mm-hmm.
that I'm like, it still fathoms me that it's like people will sit there and they're like, no, we actually like you guys. You guys are one of the better ones. And I'm like, they're talking about us?
Yeah.
I mean, but Ryan, do you have a question?
I do have one more, and actually, this comes from someone, because I was walking around during FanFest, and I saw that this individual was there. So I have to ask, since you saw it firsthand too. How did it feel being in the same room as the original ECW announcer, Steven DeAngelis?
That was amazing. That was really awesome, and he was so down to earth. Like,
oh, I loved talking with him. It's funny, just like you, we met in passing, or we walked in passing, but never fully met. But the fact that you were literally right there next to him, like watching him do his stuff, you gotta explain that feeling.
And that really touches me, and it touches you in a different way than most people. Like, most people are looking up to the wrestlers, but ring announcers, the Howard Finkel, Steve DeAngelis, all these different people. These people paved the way for us, and they laid out the blueprint to being a good ring announcer. And I'm glad that I had all these people lay the carpet out for me and show me how it's done. And I was so thankful for him, and I was talking to him, and like I said, and you always want to meet. You always hate it when one of your heroes turns out to be a prick, and I've experienced that a couple of times. That was far from the case with him. He was just so cool, so down to earth, and just watching him do his thing it's cool, man. That's our community, the ring announcers, ring announcer community.
As pretty much, as they say, ring announcers are the unsung heroes of wrestling events.
Oh,
would you agree?
Yeah, we're the tour guides. You're not there to meet the tour guide. You're there to see the attraction, but the tour guide is who's there with you from the beginning to the end of the trip. That's who we are.
But I also feel that with the ring announcers, I'm saying this to both of you, you guys also have a bigger role because you guys set everything up for what's about to happen. And I say that for both of you. Because Rich, obviously I got to see you inside, and Ryan, I've seen you in action before. You guys both really get the crowd going, almost. And the other thing also, I'm saying this live right now, with you being on, Rich, and Ryan, with you being on, you guys don't play a character. You guys are who you are, which I think is what makes you guys some of the best ring announcers I personally have seen in the Northeast.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, seriously. Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
Because
I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm just going to say this right now. I've seen other ring announcers in action. I'm not going to mention names right now. Ryan, if you catch my drift, you know where I'm going with on this one. Or cut about it off there.
Just keep talking. Just keep talking.
That you guys don't play. You guys don't play a character. Like, you guys are who you are.
Yeah.
I try to.
You don't try to come off as, oh look, I'm the big ring announcer. I'm this and that. No, you guys both come off that you're Rich Reed and you're Ryan Peterson.
Yeah, I think I'm just thankful. That's why I don't want to seem pompous. There's people that have killed to be in my place, and I'm just thankful and just happy to be in this business. It's not about being a star, being this and that. I mean, that stuff will come the more you do it, but it's not all about that.
I'm in the same boat as Rich, and I've been doing it for at least 10 years, which is still insane.
But Rich, let me ask you this, and then I want to get, because I know you have some of the other companies that you work with actually have some news already about what's coming out in the new year. What was your match of the night, Rich?
On Saturday?
On Saturday, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
I know.
That's a really tough one. There's so many matches that were good, and then there's the opening match. That was a great tag team match. That really was. I really that was a hell of an opener. I have to say, if you're going to start a show off, you start it that way. The Wolves versus the SAT. Oh no!
The New Graysons.
The New Graysons. I'm mixing up my tags match.
That was a good match. Also, the SAT and the Rep. That was a great match.
Yeah, the tag team matches were awesome. As tag team matches often are when done right, and they were done right. Yeah.
But I think, Ryan, actually, let me ask you the same question. What was your match of the night?
So besides those two, I have to say, this is gonna sound well. Obviously, the main event had so much nostalgia in it because it was Nova's last match. But I have to say, the Skywalker 6-way.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
That was an interesting concept. I've never seen it like that.
Yeah.
What I thought was actually funny was that Danny Monk was walking to the ring to Anthony Green's music. That's what I thought was hilarious.
I got confused. I'm not going to lie to you.
What part did you get?
Well, because yeah. When I heard, yeah, when I see someone come out to someone else's music, I do get confused.
Of course.
But all's well that end well. You're right. That was, I may have to. Yeah. Wow. That was an awesome match.
I said this, Ryan. I said this to you Saturday. That to me was their version of the Elimination Chamber.
It was weird. It was, in my opinion, it was not only like Elimination Chamber, but I was. Actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the best way to describe Elimination Chamber.
Because if you remember with the Chamber, I think it's every 2 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. The first two started up. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The only difference was you didn't have a cage surrounding the ring.
I mean, that would have been awesome. Just saying. But
Yeah.
and also, Rich, you probably could agree more. You couldn't agree more. There's no better 6 people to start off a tradition like that than the 6 that we saw on Saturday night.
Absolutely. I mean, you have Danny Moff, who's an absolute legend, and all the other guys, Anthony Green and Ant Bennett, my man, who's been doing his thing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
One of the better athletes in the business.
LSG, Miles Hawkins, Alec Price.
Yeah. Let's see, Alec Price and Miles Hawkins. I think that was my first time actually ever working with them. But I had worked with everyone else. Maybe not even Anthony Green. I'd have to think, but it was.
I'm sure you have it. I'm sure you had at some point. I'm sure you had.
Yeah, I can't. I wonder how many wrestlers we've worked with if we were able to sit and count. I don't think we're able to, but
too many.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was fantastic.
But Rich, actually, one of the other companies I want to get with you being on right now is SWF.
Mm-hmm.
That they just announced that in I think January 13th, I think it is.
Yep.
They're actually making their debut at the Mecca.
Yeah, it's about time. I don't think I knew till this year that Ridgefield Park was that Mecca. But I've been to so many different shows there, and I've worked a couple of shows there. And I'm so happy to see SWF, which, by the way, was only the second company I ever worked for.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my number 2 company. And to see them be in Ridgefield Park, such a familiar place, and like you said, the Mecca, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I know they announced some of the matches already. So it looks like, and I think that area, because there's so much wrestling in that area, I feel like that they'll do very well there, especially you're only coming off a couple of weeks after they do that stretch of, I think, 5 shows in 3 days or something.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Which actually, folks, if you're watching right now, I bring that up for a reason, because in about 20 minutes from now, we're actually going to have an announcement in regards to our involvement with one of those shows. And you're not going to want to miss that, because it's not just one announcement, it's actually 3 announcements.
Uh-oh.
So it's good stuff, I'll put it that much. But Rich, what else as far as, hold on. LTW, they haven't announced anything yet for 2023, have they?
January 14th.
Okay.
They just had a show, Holiday Havoc, in Old Bridge, New Jersey, and I'm quite sure it's going to be in Old Bridge on the 14th. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Old Bridge, but it's definitely January 14th. And then SWF, of course, is the day before.
Yeah, And you have, I mean, LTW is another company that I think people don't give them a lot of credit for.
Yeah.
And actually, we do have a comment coming in, Ryan, from your buddy, Zuban.
Yes, we know you're in the room, Zubin. Hello, we see you.
but no, Rich, like I said before, I think LTW is one of those companies that people don't give them a lot of credit for at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, they started from the ground up, 2019, and that's my like a family company for me, because during the pandemic, I was driving like an hour and change to Forked River, New Jersey, to do the private YouTube shows at Marksman's house. So
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about almost every Sunday. That was like my second home, and so they've, Ace and Mickey the Mouthpiece, they have really busted their asses to get LTW off the ground. When they weren't doing shows, they were doing something like the YouTube shows and just always keeping themselves out there. And I commend them for their hard work, and I know good things will happen. You just have to be patient.
And Rich, actually, David wants to say hi to you. Long time no see.
Hey, Dave, it's been a minute. I used to see you all the time.
But Ryan, you got any more?
Nah, it's probably the same question you're going to ask, John. So I thought I jumped the gun and asked Rich. Where can our lovely listeners and viewers find you on social media?
Well, you can find me on my regular Rich Reed Facebook page, but I have a public page, Rich Reed, the People's Voice. My Instagram is Rich Reed 7. I still haven't gotten to the Twitter thing. You guys tell me if it's worth it. And
Nah.
I thought it was going away. I thought it was going away at this point.
yeah, you never know, right? I don't know what it has to offer that Facebook and Instagram don't anyway. And of course, I'm working on my on a public actual website. I'm having that worked on, so there'll be developments on that and announcements. But if you just follow me on Facebook on my private or public page and my IG Rich Reed 7, you'll be kept up to date. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and you'll want to come not to see me, but just to see the great action that I'll be a part of, and you can be part of it too.
And definitely you're not going to want to miss that. And Rich, like I said, the door is always open for you to come back on. You know that for a fact. You're a friend of the show now, so you know anything you want to promote, just shoot me a message on Facebook, and we'll definitely have you on again.
All right, brother. Yeah, I know you and I are going to keep in close contact always. And guys, thank you. And Ryan, it was so great to finally meet you after being so aware of your presence for all these years, man.
I listen. The pleasure was all mine meeting you as well, because I think you were actually the last announcer in the tri-state area that I haven't met, but now I have.
Right, I'm off the bucket list. That's awesome, man.
Pretty much.
And one other thing I want to mention.
Thank you, buddy.
One other thing I want to mention.
Thanks, Carl.
In 2023, we will have that ring announcers table that I've been talking about.
Oh, yes.
And two of the guys who are going to be on that are currently on screen with us as we speak.
I was talking to you about that line. I think I mentioned that to you on Saturday.
Oh, I can't wait for that one.
We're going to definitely do that in 2023. That's going to be one of the early shows we do.
Please, the sooner the better. I don't care if we do a couple of them.
Part 1, part 2.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Rich, we'll talk off air because I still have to figure out if I'm just going to keep it at the 3 or add a 4th one. So we'll talk about that later.
Logistics are still in place. The logistics are still working on.
Yeah, that's what we're still just trying to figure out is logistics. And I want to make sure because I know ring announcers get very busy. I have to do it on a day when you guys all are free.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, just find a few dates to throw them at me, and I don't have a whole lot. January I'm pretty booked, but then again, during the week, just let me know.
We'll figure it out. Believe me, I'm very much. Believe me, Rich. I'll be in touch with you. We'll figure out something because I definitely, even if it's not just 3, even if it's just to get you and Ryan on to do it, I'll even do that.
Yeah, I mean, whoever, man. Like I said, we're a community.
I totally agree. But Rich, again, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it a lot. And definitely, guys, if you happen to see Rich in action, you're not going to want to miss it because, like I said before, he is one of the better ring announcers out there.
Yep, definitely.
And yeah. But I think actually, let's throw it into a quick commercial break, Mr. Producer. And we'll be right back right after this. You're listening to the Around the Ropes podcast right here on the ATR Network.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Hey guys, this is Carl from the ATR Network, also the producer of the Around the Ropes podcast, and I'm proud to introduce to you one of our good partners, Moonstar Smoke, right here in Animal Park, New Jersey. There's their phone number, their fax number. Guys, if you're a vape smoker like I am, they have everything you need. Also, too, if you're a hookah smoker, they have all your needs for that. Check them out. They're a mom and pop store. Sweetest people in the world, and you want to check them out. But also, too, you want to stay tuned to see more advertisements coming from them.
And we are back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, that was weird. I didn't even see the commercial.
What? Okay.
Well, we are back live after the commercial break.
We're back.
Okay,
Right.
well-
Yeah.
Guys, it was great to have
Welcome back
Rich
to
on.
everybody that's tuning in.
It was great having Rich on. He has become a friend of the show now. And definitely, it will not be the last time you guys will get to see him on here. I'm going to say that.
Oh, hell no.
Nah,
Hell no.
I think Mr. Reed is going to be a continuous guest.
Oh, absolutely. But Ryan, did I blow you away when I said that about you and Rich?
Yeah, you kind of did a little bit.
Well, I'm sorry, okay?
Nah, hey, listen, don't apologize for putting people over, okay?
Hey, I put it this way. If you're a talented person, I'll put you over to the goddamn Lord.
Well, again, alongside Rich, I appreciate that as well.
Yeah. I know the work you guys put in.
Especially in Rich's case when it's less than 48 hours notice.
Yeah. But like I said, folks, if you missed any of tonight's show, definitely go back to our YouTube page, go to our Facebook page. You can definitely catch it all there. If you missed any of our previous shows, that's where you can also find it as well. If you missed Contest of Champions and you miss all of the action from Saturday.
Which I was going to continue getting into, but go ahead, John, continue.
No, I was going to say, go to iwtv.com. You can order the replay there.
Yep. Let me finish up the rest of the matches, and then we'll move forward. Because I think we only did like three of them.
Yes.
We talked about the Wolves and the Graysons. We talked about Miranda Elise and Christina Marie. I was getting into the Retromania wrestling title match, where Retromania is a video game out there, and they have like the classic style wrestling style, like old school NES style that we used to watch, growing up and play. So they decided to make a championship, and it was contested between Warhorse, the guy who almost gave me a heart attack, and the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer.
Sorry, why did he almost give you a heart attack?
Because of his energy.
Okay.
So, Tommy Dreamer became victorious and is the inaugural Retromania Wrestling Champion. And then we saw an interesting matchup. I would say nostalgic feeling. I would say, and that was Rick Ratchet taking on Jerry the King Lawler.
Wow.
Can we just get into this match for 1 second?
Oh yes, absolutely.
I felt this match was too comical almost. I get the fact that, Jerry the King Lawler is 73, I think. 73, 74, somewhere in that area.
73.
But as a good friend of mine put it, and I think it's the perfect way to put it, the one who took the most bumps in that match was actually Prince Nana.
Yeah. Yeah. Nana took most of the. Oh, and also accompanying Mr. Jerry King Lawler is Tom Rivers, New Jersey owned Todd Frazier.
But we're also forgetting who accompanied Rick Ratchet.
I know, Prince Nana. That's what you said.
And wasn't it Mark Gluzzo?
I think so. It was Mark something with a C. So
Oh, I know. Just want to say,
and also Nana almost slapped me in the face.
Can it be as worse though? Hey, but was it able to be made up by the fact that you held Jerry the King Lawler's crown?
Yeah.
You held
Yeah,
Jerry
can't
King
complain.
Lawler's crown? Wow.
Oh yes, I did.
Oh wow, that's actually a pretty cool moment, man. That would be a cool moment, yo. Holy, that's good.
Which, by the way, you can see this ugly mug hold that crown at ringside on IWTV on the replay. So then we get into the tag title match between the Rep and the SAT. Now, first of all, who the hell was that guy that introduced the SAT?
I have no idea.
I don't think I ever got his name, but all I gotta say is that guy knows how to bring heat.
Oh God, yeah.
Especially when one of the lines what he said was, "I wish there was another variant out there. That way, all of you ugly mugs can mask up so I don't have to see your ugly mugs again."
Wow,
I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That one was oof.
That's a little bit too yeah, wow.
But I mean, I loved that match. I mean, the physicality of the match was great. Obviously, SAT has been around for some time, so they gel well together. How long has the Rep been around for?
They have been around for, I'm gonna pull up right now, 10 years.
Okay, so the nice part with this match was you didn't have two teams who were together for a cup of coffee.
No.
I mean, SAT's been around for what, almost 25 years?
At least.
So figure you have close to 40 years of in-ring experience between both those teams. When you think about it.
Give or take, yeah. And the chemistry that the two of them had was phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
So then we go into. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just want to mention one other thing. There was one match that I was kind of iffy on. And Ryan, it was a match you mentioned before, and that was the women's match.
Yeah, something happened towards the end because
I'm not blaming not blaming Miranda or Christina, but I just think the chemistry in that match was off.
Off, yeah, a little bit. Also, the crowd wasn't really into it.
Because I think the problem was you had so many. I mean, crap. You had Dreamer Warhorse. You go down the list. Hold on. I'll try not to see these right now, folks. But you had Warhorse and Dreamer. You had all these big name matches. And it was like, okay, well, let's just plug in the women here. So, the women can get a match.
Yeah. So after the tag title match was the Skywalker title Sinister Six-Way elimination match.
Yes.
Now, folks, just to break it down quickly, it's 6 competitors, which in this case was the Retro Anthony Green, the Prize City OG Alec Price, Ant Bennett, Carl Roberts' favorite wrestler of all time, Danny Moff, Miles Hawkins, and LSG. Now, what kind of threw me off a little bit was all 6 of them were on stage at the same time.
Yeah.
But the way that they did it was they had a little on the Trons, on the video screens that they had, which from the looks of the building looked like they were from 1995. So they had they have like some sort of like specialty wheel that they designed, and it has all 6 competitors on it. Then whatever it lands on, that's the person that enters the match. So it started off with, I believe, Aunt Bennett and LSG.
Yes.
And then after every 2 minutes, another person enters the match, and it's also elimination style. So it's kind of like the elimination chamber, as you said, but without the cage.
Mm-hmm.
So after that was...
I'll put it this way. It was the elimination chamber if you bought it on Wish.com.
Pretty much. No, actually, more like it's like you order elimination chamber, but unfortunately it's not back order, and that's what you get.
Or it's the old one that you see on the computer where they go, Mom, I want McDonald's. We have McDonald's at home, son.
Pretty much. And then after that, I'm sorry, no, I was mistaken. It was Aunt Bennett first, then Miles Hawkins, and then LSG enters.
Yes.
LSG enters. And then as Danny Muff enters the ring, Anthony Green comes out of nowhere and attacks him and takes his spot in the match.
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd, knowing that Danny Muff comes into Iron Butterfly, by Edgardo DeVita.
Yeah.
And hearing, I don't even know what Anthony Green's entrance is. I forgot.
Ooh, heaven, there's a place on earth, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Of seeing someone as big as Danny Muff, who comes in next, coming into the match with that song playing. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
And then the Prize City OG Alec Price. Now this is how the eliminations occurred. Alec Price, Aunt Bennett, Anthony Green, LSG, pretty much all the 5 competitors eliminated Danny Muff. They all just piled up on top of him. And then Muff got up Undertaker style, all pissed off, like, and then he starts beating up, some of the competitors. Apparently, a few of the guys throws in Aunt Bennett saying, "You got this." Now he did not get it. He gave him the burning hammer, and Miles Hawkins comes in and he goes for the pin, 1, 2, 3, and Aunt Bennett. And while the other 4 competitors were competing, Danny Muff is picking up Aunt Bennett and just carrying him back to the locker room.
Yeah, I remember that.
So then Alec Price eliminates Miles Hawkins, and then LSG eliminates Alec Price, which goes down to LSG and Anthony Green. Which the final result was that Anthony Green was victorious and is now the inaugural Standalone Wrestling Skywalker champion.
Yes.
And then, folks, we go into one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the night. And that was for the Standalone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. As the challenger, the national treasure, Nick Aldis, took on the Messiah Old School and at the time, Standalone Wrestling champion, Sean Donovan. First of all, before the match even started, seeing Sean Donovan as a babyface, fucking hilarious, because I've never seen it before in my life. And again, in shocking factor, Nick Aldis is the brand new Standalone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah. Well, my first thing I want to say on that is any future champion we have on the show, Carl Roberts, not be a part of that interview.
I was going to say something like that, actually. I was going to say, any promoters out there that have big shows coming up and they want to bring their champion on the week prior, please come on. That way the champions can lose. Because again, folks, the running joke behind the scenes is that every time a champion comes on here and Carl Roberts is interviewing them, they lose the titles. First it was Darius Carter. And then it was his other favorite wrestler of all time, Alvin Alvarez. And now it's Sean Donovan. Who's next?
Yeah.
At this point, should we just interview Roman Reigns? I'm just kidding. I don't want to get chastised.
Oh boy. Yes, Carl?
I don't know what is.
Uh-oh.
Pretty much, Carl is the champion's kryptonite.
remember that.
20. Oh, you heard that part. That was
Awesome cameo by Carl. Awesome cameo by Carl. Now, before that, I do actually want to add on a couple of quick things we forgot to mention. Before the show even started, there was a massive award ceremony that took place with I think the president and vice president of the 200 Club, which is what they partnered up with,
Yes.
and they presented the icon. I'm going to pull my Tony Schiavone right now. Sting with an award, which was fantastic. And then later on, Don Bucci came out and presented 2 other awards. One of them I'm not going to jump into it right now, but the first one was for a promoter that actually got him and his brother his first start 46 years ago.
Yeah,
I think his name was Dino. I think. Oh, Dino.
Yeah.
I apologize on the name, but they presented him with an award, and then a nice little surprise to the competitor, to the second award winner, which was presented via video message by the legendary Bill Apter. And this one was the Blackjack Mulligan, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. Blackjack Brown, thank you. Blackjack Brown, world famous, very famous wrestling photographer. They decided to present the
It was like a lifetime achievement, I think.
Yep, Lifetime Achievement Award, and the first recipient of that said award was from PW Insider Mike Johnson.
I don't think he saw that coming.
No, he didn't. I spoke with him after the show, and he was like, "I knew nothing about it at all."
Well, because the old thing is, if you tell the reporter about it, he'll leak it out.
Yeah, I know, pretty much. And also, Don also gave a shout out to basically the best wrestling fan in the world, Vlad.
Yes.
Vlad was there. So again, congrats to Sting, Dino, and Johnson for those wonderful awards. Very well deserved. And now we go on to the main event of the evening. It was the 6-man tag match between Pat Buck, Brian Myers, and Matt Cardona, taking on Frankie Kazarian, Aaron Stevens, and wrestling in his last match ever, Nova. And in no surprise, Aaron Stevens, Frankie Kazarian, and Nova came out victorious in Nova's last match after 33 years of in-ring competition. And then right afterwards, there was a lovely video package that was presented. And then the best one of all, speaking of surprises, his brother made a custom Supernova heavyweight title belt that was presented by Nova's daughter.
Yes.
And I think Carl's supposed to say something, but I don't know.
Folks, this is what happens when you use AOL.
Santa.
This is what happens when you use Santa?
Is the lifetime Dino.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He's
But
the
all
one
in all,
that
it was
has
a-
the lifetime promoter.
Achievement. Nice. Okay. Thank you for that. But again, folks, phenomenal night of a long freaking night. And then afterwards, myself, John, and Carl went back to Wawa because why the fuck not?
I'm going to hop off for a second. I'm going to just throw myself in the background for a second because I gotta look at my phone charger. So let me go do that. Ryan, I'm gonna leave you in charge of running the ship for a few minutes.
Oh shit.
The ship, folks.
Oh,
The ship.
I'm still saying shit. I'm just kidding. Hey, Chris Carpenter, what's going on, buddy? What's going on?
So
So-
yeah, folks, I'll be back momentarily.
All right, fantastic. So now that supposedly I'm running the shit, ship. Costa, why don't we talk about what happened on Raw last night? Because it was actually a very eventful one, surprising.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it was very eventful. Yeah. What do you want to start with? Okay. One of the standout moments for me already was that Mr. Solo Sikoa used the Samoan bike.
Yeah, in tribute to Umaga.
Exactly. And by the way, I miss Umaga, so I miss him. So
Oh, Umaga was my favorite. Umaga was one of my top favorites.
Definitely one of my favorite wrestlers ever. Yeah.
So what kind of stood out for me was obviously last night. You know, we had the tag team championship match.
Yeah.
But what also really kind of stood out for me were the two number one contendership triple threat qualifying matches for the women's.
Right. That was interesting. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I was expecting Rhea Ripley to win at least one of those. Yeah. Or the first one that she was in, for sure.
You bet. Yeah, the first one had Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and Bayley,
Exactly.
which was a phenomenal match. Which was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
And then the one that closed out the night was Nikki Cross, Becky Lynch, and Alexa Bliss.
Surprisingly, yeah, very
surprising. Which actually I will talk a little bit more about what's going on next week. My apologies if I'm looking down. I'm trying to pull up the information. La 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 la. Okay, so already announced for next week's Raw already, live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home of multiple cheeses. The number one contendership match for the Raw Women's Championship. It's Bayley versus Alexa Bliss.
I was expecting it to. Well, I'm kind of disappointed because I was expecting it to be Rhea Ripley, but yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in that.
But also, they're bringing back a match that hasn't been seen in almost 3 years. Kind of going back to NXT days, and that is Candice LeRae versus Io Sky.
Oh, yes.
If you remember back at NXT Toronto 2019, I think it was.
Yes.
Those two had a phenomenal matchup.
Exactly. I remember that. Yeah.
And also, for the 10,557th time, it'll be Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins, this time for the number one contendership for the United States Championship.
Yeah.
Wow,
back,
I wonder
guys.
what's going to happen there.
Oh, welcome back, Johnny.
That's interesting.
Yeah, sorry, I had to, because of the laptop not working, I'm going off the phone. I looked, I was down to 3%.
You're fine.
You're good.
All right, so would you guys mind if I pause the Raw conversation to make announcement?
I was going to talk about I was going to talk about this past week's SmackDown because there was only 3 matches. I mean, there were a few matches I do want to talk about quickly, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
So first of all, Sami Zayn versus Sheamus from SmackDown.
Usologist. Yeah, boy.
Oh, that was beautiful. Also, you had Kofi Kingston versus Gunther.
Yes, sir.
Which was surprising.
I think they're still scraping Kofi up as we speak.
Well, I mean, they were up in Buffalo, so they're probably using any of the leftover show. But the match I wanted to talk about quickly is the SmackDown World Cup Final between Santos Escobar and Ricochet.
Absolutely amazing.
That match right there was a pay-per-view quality match.
Yes, sir.
And they gave that shit for free.
Yeah,
Man,
and
if you don't,
but-
I'm gonna say this right now. If fans out there did not like that match, you definitely don't deserve to be a wrestling fan, and you shouldn't be a wrestling fan anymore because that match was absolutely incredible, incredible.
And if you are hardcore wrestling fans like the four of us, you kind of think about it, going, "Wait a minute, I've seen this happen before somewhere in some underground promotion per se."
Yeah.
Lucha Underground. Okay, I'm leaving it at that.
Yeah. Lucha Underground is one of the best promotions out ever.
I was so upset that's gone.
I know.
I'm so upset that's gone. But and the winner was Ricochet.
Ricochet.
So in 2 weeks in Chicago, Illinois, whoopity-doo, Chicago, Illinois.
Always Chicago.
Always Chicago, because the Bears are not doing shit.
I hear there's like a little punk there who thinks he knows everything but doesn't.
Well, I'm champions. I think it's your anyway. So in 2 weeks it'll be Ricochet versus Gunta for the Intercontinental Championship.
So basically, it's going to be how long can Ricochet survive?
Actually, no. I kind of, if they're really pushing it, maybe have him pull a surprise victory. Just saying.
If they do that, they're only doing it for one reason.
The holidays, they want everyone to be happy.
Add the Papa rated.
Pretty much. Well, considering next week, I believe next week, starting next Friday, in Chicago, they're recording both SmackDowns. And then that following Monday in Des Moines, they're taping those two Monday Night Raws because WWE is not letting their employees work over Christmas weekend because I'm doing those shows. Right? Because they'll be doing house shows.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because,
like you said, the Christmas holidays are around that time, right? So yeah, that makes sense.
And also that Monday,
yeah,
there are two house shows that'll be taking place. One in Columbus, Ohio, and the other one at some place called Madison Square Garden, I guess. I don't.
Yeah.
Some Knicks team plays there. I don't know.
Oh, you mean the ninth place Knicks? All right.
Sports balls.
Yeah, we'll update you on all sports happenings on our other show, a sports ball coming up in the new year.
In other words, don't watch us if you're an NBA fan. We're sorry, we don't care.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm an NBA fan, so.
Again, I'm sorry, and I don't care. I'm kidding, Costa. But no. Again, Ricochet and Santos Escobar, they stole the fucking show. They stole the fucking week from me, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially when both of them are on the barricade, like walking the barricade.
Yes, sir.
I totally agree on that. I'm going to hold off on my announcement because I want to bring up one other topic.
Okay.
I think I know what it is too, but go right ahead.
It's not what you're thinking. It's one thing I should have put on the outline. I totally forgot. And that's what's going on right now in Impact Wrestling. With a certain bully.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yes.
Bully Ray.
I know.
I was explaining to the listeners who may not know who I'm referring to, who may know of him as Bubba.
Same person.
If you're no, that's me, no. But cut. Him and Scott D'Amore had a little bit of a kerfuffle on this last episode. But before I even get to that, I want to get to Bully's promo that he cut. And I can't believe I'm actually about to say this on what's it? Today is on December 6th. I actually agree with Bully.
Well, do you care to elaborate for those that haven't heard?
Yeah, because I felt that with what Bully was saying, especially how everybody was supporting what's his face was supporting what's his face Rich Swann. And I thought that was interesting how everybody, especially Tommy Dreamer, was defending him.
Yeah.
But actually, we do have some breaking news.
What?
Oh?
Carl, if you can please pull up the last comment that came in, because we now know who's going for the NXT tag titles on Saturday for Deadline.
Huh?
Wow. Really? Are you serious?
Yes, folks, it's going to be the New Day. Yes, it is.
Oh, shit.
What?
That's pretty good for them, yo.
That's not what I expected.
No, me neither.
They showed NXT today and are the challengers.
Mm.
Wow.
Not what I expected.
Well, again, it gives them something new to focus on, really.
Should be interesting on.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no,
The
that
New
is
Day
interesting.
really hasn't been used properly on
Exactly.
SmackDown.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pretty much.
So it would give them something new to focus on, like I said. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And who was it? Pretty deadly, I think holds the NXT titles right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
It gives them a notch in their feather if they can beat New Day. It's like, holy crap, we defeated one of the best teams right now in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
How
much you want to bet that they win though?
Oh, it won't shock me.
Tag team titles.
I don't know. Because if you remember when Ricochet went down to NXT to face against Carmelo Hayes won.
Yeah.
I give Hunter a lot of credit because he's using the main roster guys to put over the younger guys.
Exactly. And that's what NXT was. I'm
what a concept.
But that's what NXT was used for. Like really.
That's what it used to be.
Yeah. Exactly.
And in other NXT news, they did announce two of the people at the PC right now, currently that they're trying to recruit.
And I know exactly who they are.
Let me ask you this. I know one of them you've worked with. Have you worked with the other one?
No, I never did, which sucks.
Because, folks, if you don't know who we're talking about, the two that are being recruited to the WWE right now are Indie Star, and you've seen them on most recently at MLW, and that's Casey Navarro.
Yeah, I've seen. Yep.
And the other one actually is a bit of a shocker to me. I'll explain why it's a shocker to me. The other one is Kylie Ray.
Yeah.
And I say that's a shocker to me for one reason. She quit AEW because of her anxiety.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So now she's part of WWE PC.
No,
she's currently down there for a
tryout.
but there are two other names that are currently in the crowd at are sitting in the crowd at NXT tonight.
Who?
Dutch and Vincent.
Oh, there we go.
Interesting.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. I still hold my theory. I think they're going to somehow be part of that White Six.
Bro, we've been mentioning Dutch and Vincent for like the last 2 years.
Because
And
Costa,
they're
they're
talking about
listening.
NXT.
Costa, they're listening.
Yeah, I know they're. Yeah, I know they're listening. They're listening.
Here's what's gonna happen. Dutch, Vincent, Kylie, and Casey Navarro are all joining Chase U. Okay, they are the newest recruits for Chase University.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, bringing up Kylie Ray, she was at the meet and greet for the second Starcast that they did that year. And I say this to this day, she is one person who I still would love to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hear she's like the nicest person out there. I could be mistaken, but I'm just hearing through multiple sources that she's an absolute sweetheart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But let me get to the announcement now. Because I have been holding off on this announcement for the longest time.
All right, Tony Khan, get to your announcement. Yep.
No, Costa. Okay, the announcement is this. We have signed a new person to the show. No.
Oh, God damn it.
Thank you. You're going on it. Good night.
No. Guys, as you know, we are big supporters of the indie wrestling scene in New Jersey.
Yep.
Mainly the Mecca. And I could think of any place else I'd rather be than the Mecca New Year's Eve weekend, as they are set to hold 5 shows in 3 days. And all actually gets kicked off that Friday at 2 p.m. with a certain company called Invictus. 3 p.m.?
3 p.m. Yes.
Okay. I stand corrected on that.
Actually, hold on. I do want a little bit of breaking news, actually. I do apologize, John.
No, you're good.
So according to wrestling news, I know you guys can't see my face. I apologize, but it's the only way I can get this to work. Sasha Banks has officially locked down the trademark rights to her name, Mercedes Varnado.
Oh. Does this mean a closer return to WWE?
Sorry, but why is that important that she's locking down her name though? That's her name though. So
WWE in the past have tried to take their name, trying to take their name,
their real name,
like people's name. Yep, exactly.
Very interesting, but
wow.
Yes, folks.
I apologize for that, John. Please continue.
No, you're good. Like I said, folks, it all gets started that weekend on Friday at 3 p.m. with Invictus Presents the Many Saints of Ridgefield Park. And you'll hear our very own Mr. Ryan Peterson do what he does fantastically well at, and that's ring announce.
Yeah.
On that show.
Definitely, yep.
One of the headlines for that show will be Darius Carter taking on the vivacious and very talented Miss Edith Surreal.
Look at John using his big words, vivacious.
And all of us here at the ATR Network knows exactly where Carl Roberts is going to be sitting for that match.
Yeah.
On the stage.
Oh he'll be sitting right there on one of the turnbuckles going. Oh yeah, Darius Carter, yeah, DC, hit me.
I was gonna say, be clapping and say hitting like you said, hit me. Yeah.
Oh, you know Carter's gonna do something to him that day.
Oh, of course.
But guys, I was skipped because you also have that night. You have IFC doing a show. Mm-hmm. With the main event being Steve Pena versus Flip Gordon. I forgot what Flip Gordon's.
Oh,
wow, that's going to be amazing. Wow.
It's just Flip Gordon, right? Right?
Yeah, just Flip Gordon. Yep.
Okay. Now to the next day. And I will give part 1 of the announcement right now.
Okay.
Ridgefield Park, get ready. Because coming at you live 11 a.m. on December 31st from the Mecca will be the Around the Ropes podcast presents the kickoff show to Kingdom Come 7.
Hey!
Oh, good Lord Almighty! That early in the morning?
Started at 11 a.m. that day.
Jeez.
Fuck.
All right.
So from there, don't worry, folks. I have another announcement to make.
Yep. Go ahead.
On this card for Kingdom Come 7, you'll see such matches as Ruthless Lala taking on JC Storm for the Pro Wrestling Magic Women's Championship. Adam Kerr takes on Danny Moff in a Bayonne street fight. You got Espados Unidos taking on Death Row for the tag team titles. You got Vinny Pacifico.
You got cheese?
Vinny Pacifico versus Mike Donovan, where if Vinny loses, he has to leave Pro Wrestling Magic.
Mm.
And then supposedly Donovan has 5 minutes in the ring with somebody. I forgot who it was. You also have Jay George versus Steve Pena in a match. You have, there's a slew of people. And I'm here to make the announcement right now. The main sponsor for that show is a little podcast called the Around the Ropes Podcast.
Hey! No applause sheet tonight, Mr. Peterson.
No, I accidentally threw it out because I was doing garbage. I was cleaning up my apartment.
And folks, if you missed this announcement, you can check out Pro Wrestling Magic socials tomorrow because this will be on there as well.
Yes.
Now
sir.
the last part of said announcement. We have now been sponsored by Rogaine. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding. After Kingdom Come, they're going to have a little concert.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I apologize. You're forgetting one other sponsor for that show, Pro Wrestling Magic.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Because, right, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Elmwood Handyman?
The Elmwood Park Handyman himself will be sponsoring the tag title match between Death Row and Estados Unidos.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Roberts. He's getting into the sponsoring game. Great job.
Yes. And folks, if you use code Pro Wrestling Magic, I think you get 15% off your order. Could be wrong on that. But in regards to the concert that they will be holding right after the show,
Good Lord Almighty.
the group that will be introducing said band will be yours truly, myself, and Carl Roberts.
Hey, that's actually a good look.
So, folks, you will be seeing us a lot on December 31st.
What a way to spend New Year's Eve, eh? Wow.
Wouldn't think of any other place I'd rather be than the Mecca.
Yeah. You mean MSG is no longer the Mecca, I guess?
In New York, it's the Mecca. In New Jersey, it's Ridgefield Park.
Okay.
MSG is the overpriced Mecca.
Yeah. And folks, the other thing also I'd like to mention, because I know myself and Carl will be at a wrestling show, usually need some sort of food challenge. Folks, there'll be no food challenge this time.
Yeah.
Yay! Yay! Oh, hallelujah! Hallelujah!
We kind of learned our lesson after the last one.
No more killings. John's calling anymore. It's okay.
No more. Hold on. I think I saw the light coming from God. Oh, it's a miracle.
But yeah.
Actually, folks, before we get any further, I do want to. I hate to be the bearer of somber news. I do apologize. And again, folks, you won't see my face. No.
What?
Just want to say on behalf of everyone here at the HCR Network, we want to send our best wishes to the family of WWE Hall of Famer Barry Windham, as this past weekend while traveling through the Atlanta airport, he suffered a heart attack, and as of this moment, he is still in ICU. So again, Barry Windham from all of us at the ATR Network, well wishes and a massive speedy recovery, my friend.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yes.
Just want to point that out.
Get well soon, legend. You'll be all right.
Yes. But I think you guys
Now back to the Christmas Miracle no food challenges. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, there'll be no food challenge happening this week. We kind of learned our lesson after Colossal Championship Wrestling weekend, and yeah.
You mean when John's hand was shaking like this, and he couldn't do anything? Yeah. I remember that.
No, it's more,
actually, on top of the Barry Windham news, there will be a GoFundMe that will be set up to raise money for him and his family. So just want to point that out there. Make sure to find that and donate.
yes, we'll put the link out for that on our socials as well.
Now back to John talking about his one night stand with Cookie Monster.
You're an asshole. The one thing I still will not understand about that whole day is Carl and I ate the same chip. Not the same exact chip, but we ate a chip. But yet, if you look at the picture taken of us right afterwards, I look like pure death, and Carl looks like it's just a normal day in the park.
Yeah. Only one of his cheeks turned red. That's it. Yeah.
And then on my end, if you look at the picture from me, not only does my lip look it, my eyes look like they're glossy.
Yeah.
I look like I'm high as a kite, yet just get over either a one night stand or going 12 rounds with the Cookie Monster.
I would choose the latter. Going 12 rounds with the Cookie Monster is more your style.
No, more like 7 minutes in cookie heaven with Cookie Monster.
Yeah, that's what I said. Cookie Monster.
Yeah, but guys, if you also know, I turned into Cookie Monster a couple of weeks ago at work.
Yeah.
He's my cookie. That's good enough. Oh, sorry.
But guys, yeah, like I said before, if you missed the announcement, I'll run through it again quickly. 11 a.m. on December 31st, we'll be doing a kickoff show for Magic that day. We'll preview the show like we did a couple weeks ago for Breed Combination. We are sponsoring the entire card that day. And also, folks, we will be the ones introducing the band called New Metal Band. We'll be playing right after.
I'm sorry. What's the name of the band?
New Metal.
Okay.
I was just explaining it, okay?
Okay. I don't need explanations because I understand. I was making sure I heard the name correctly.
Yes, you heard the name correctly. Good Lord. One last thing I want to get to before we wrap up said show.
Hold on. Let me get this straight for a second. There's a rock band called Metal Band. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
New Metal. Yes.
Okay. I'm just clarifying. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
Just like there's a rapper in the hip hop world called New Reggae, I hear.
No, there isn't. Anyway.
I'm kidding.
All right.
William Regal.
Yes.
Apparently he's on the outs. He is not in AEW anymore. And supposedly coming out of the New Year, he will be back in WWE in some sort of producer's role.
Yep.
Let me ask you guys this. If you take out Moxley and Jericho, can you name me a WWE wrestler who came, to AEW and was booked properly?
No, I cannot.
Folks, that tells you how bad the booking is. You have guys coming from the biggest company in the world, and what would you say? There's been at least 40 of them from WWE come to AEW.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, give or take.
But I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. I would say it feels right. It feels rushed. It feels rushed.
No, but Costa, it feels, I say bad also for another reason. You have guys who have main evented major pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Or have been in some of the biggest storylines in WWE. And where the hell are they now? Case in point, look at Miro.
Yeah, exactly. They're stuck in the AEW
Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, look at somebody like Miro. I know everybody's gonna say, "Well, what about Malachi Black?" I'm sorry, Malachi Black to me, and this is good. This is a hot take right now, folks. So just bear with me on this one. Malachi Black to me should not be in a faction.
No. Well, I don't know. I think he's okay where he's at.
But Costa, the problem is, I feel like by putting him in a faction, you are pigeonholing him.
Okay.
You're putting him in one. It's almost like what WWE did with Cesaro.
Okay.
Some of the other guys. Look at Andrade. I know he's like suspended now, whatever. But Andrade is another case.
Yeah.
Even though he shouldn't be suspended. Just saying.
Okay, look at the women, for example. Look at Athena.
I know. Yeah, that you can tell that there's issue there. Yeah. Like Athena should be by now. She should be like champion, right? But yeah.
Yes, Carl.
Go ahead, Mr. Roberts. Go ahead.
Yes, T. I get it. Time out.
I know.
Andrade is actually out injured. He had surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Because he put a tweet out today. 3.
Out today.
Here in the arm, the scar from a surgery. To me, that's either two things.
Yeah.
Either they had to read the top because it ripped off the top, or it was socket up here.
I totally forgot that, but
his shoulder.
So that's why he's TV.
Yeah.
Okay, but going back to the women for a second.
He
No,
surgery.
No, I totally understand that. Going back to the women, unfortunately, I have my fear with Saraya right now.
Oh, she looked rusty, bro. She looked rusty.
A, she looked rusty, and B, here's my thing. You push her so much with Britt Baker, who are you going to have her work with after? Because you know that whole AEW women's division pretty much works around Britt.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much.
And look at the tag teams. I mean, great example of tag team. Look at FTR.
Yeah, hey, man, FTR should be, or at least should be considered one of the greatest tag teams in the world, man.
And I know they just came out with the PWI top list for tag teams, and the Usos were higher than them. And supposedly, I don't remember if it was Dawson or one of them turned around and said, how come we're not higher? And I'm sorry, but you have a boss like TK who doesn't put you guys on TV for weeks. What the hell do you think is going to happen?
That's true. But, yeah.
One more thing.
Unfortunately, PWI isn't.
It was announced.
What's up?
Sorry. Go ahead.
It was announced that MLW star Richard Holiday beat cancer once before, and unfortunately, it has come back.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Please, keep in your prayers, Richard Holiday, while he is battling cancer for the second time.
Oh,
Yep.
shit. Prayers up, guys. Prayers up.
Oh.
What?
Hodgkin's
His
lymphoma.
lymphoma.
Oh, shit. That's some serious stuff right there.
Folks, if there's a GoFundMe, we will put it out there.
Yeah, we will absolutely do that. But what I'm about the stuff with AEW, that's where I blame Tony Khan for that. And I understand, you can't put everybody on TV every week. I understand that.
Well, then don't buy two companies then, if you can't.
Exactly. And I know, we have Final Battle coming up this weekend. And I'm going to be straightforward right now. Is there a match you guys are actually looking forward to at Final Battle?
I was just that your reminder was just my you're saying that was my reminder of that. Yeah, holy shit. I forgot about that.
I'm going to try and see if I can pull up the card quickly while I am on the air.
Yeah.
Because again, I completely forgot that it was this weekend.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man. The fact that
here we go.
Yep, go ahead.
You're saying that.
All right, so in tag team action, we have the team of JD Griffey and Shane Taylor taking on Swerve in Our Glory.
Oh.
You also have, for the Ring of Honor Women's World title, the current champion, Mercedes Martinez, who I forgot she was the champion, taking on Athena.
Oh, shit.
You also have, for the Ring of Honor World Television title, Samoa Joe taking on the brand new signee for AEW, Juice Robinson.
Okay, that had some promotion. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, for sure.
For the Ring of Honor Pure title, which in my opinion will probably be the fucking show stealer, the current champion, Daniel Garcia, going back at it again one more time with Wheeler Yuta.
Ooh, that's going to be a sick match.
And the Ring of Honor World title as the Ocho, Chris Jericho, takes on Claudio Castagnoli.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you right now, of those matches, the only two I'm looking forward to are Jericho and Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta and Garcia.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more.
Samoa Joe match is going to be...
Samoa Joe and Juice, I think this will be good on paper. Yeah. But, Costa, one thing I push on this show is emotional investment, correct?
Yeah.
As a fan, why should I be invested in a match that has had no build on TV?
Because ROH isn't on TV. That's what that.
Really? Because I feel like they have ROH on. I know they don't have their own show yet, but I feel like with the way AEW's been the last year, or so, since ROH came into the fold, I feel like you have ROH on once a week.
Really? Yeah. Whoa.
I feel like something bigger is in the works because, from what I heard through from a few sources actually, supposedly in 2023, and actually after Final Battle, then I think they're going to be making their decision in regards to Ring of Honor, like what's going to be happening to it.
Yeah.
They got to do something.
I know. What are the plans though? What are they discussing? If you don't,
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% positive, but I think the rumors I've been hearing, especially through Warner Media, is probably bringing back Ring of Honor television.
Ooh.
Or what you could also do, which actually wouldn't be a terrible thing. Let's be honest, they don't get a lot of viewers with Dark Elevation, right?
No.
Or Dark.
In general.
So why don't you do this? Have Dynamite. You have Dynamite, you have Rampage.
Yeah.
Kill Dark Elevation.
Or put it on.
See, I feel hold on. I feel like for Elevation though, some of this get rid of Dark as a whole.
Yeah.
But keep Dark Elevation though, because they do that right before. Okay. This is how I think it's gonna work. This is how I think they should do it, in my opinion. Get rid of Dark.
Yeah.
Because for those long ass tapings, they do it in Orlando, Florida, at Universal Studios.
Yes.
So why not replace Dark with Ring of Honor?
When is that on Mondays? Is that on Mondays or when is that?
That's usually Tuesdays, like right
Tuesdays.
before live.
Okay, Tuesdays. Okay. Tuesdays.
But have them do Ring of Honor from Orlando, Florida. but utilize some of the talent that's not seen on TV, as well as those old school Ring of Honor stars to come back.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to do something, because if not, I don't want to say that TK is gonna burn himself out, but when you have no creative team for, let me rephrase that, when you are the creative team for AEW, Dynamite, for Rampage, for Dark Elevation, and for Ring of Honor, not also add the fact that he works with Daddy on the Jaguars and the soccer team in Europe.
Yeah, Fulham.
There's not that much time in the world for all of that.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I feel like when it comes to TK, we've had the same conversation. I mean, it's a bad thing. We've had it like 2 years ago. So that means that nothing's changed.
No. I mean, granted, I do like the fact that TK has not come out and said, "Oh, I have a big announcement to make."
Don't worry, he has you as a replacement. It's all right. Never mind.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I really don't have anything else to get into tonight. So if you guys have nothing else, I think we can wrap this show up.
I think I'm good, boss.
In non-wrestling news, but more lines of comedy,
Yeah.
especially for us here in the New York area, a legendary comedy club in New York City is shutting down.
Which one?
Which one?
Caroline's on Broadway.
Really?
Oh shit.
Yep, the last show will be on New Year's Eve. It's been there since 1992. Before that, the club was in Chelsea. They've had an incredible run these last 40 years. And while the club will close, Caroline's, the brand as a whole, will still continue. They will continue to be involved to the New York Comedy Festival.
Okay, that makes a bit of sense. Just give me 1 second, folks. I'm just
So-
writing something quick.
So it's the location on Broadway where it's closing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but
That reminds me. Sorry to cut you off, Mr. Peterson. Sorry about that.
No, I'm done. I'm good.
So that reminds me, actually. So as Mr. Peterson said earlier in this live stream, make sure I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on upcoming Destiny Wrestling shows, because it is one of the best wrestling shows ever, and one of the best that we have in Toronto. It's an independent wrestling show called Destiny Wrestling, and I think Alicia Atut actually was the host of the show on this past Sunday. So
Of course, Alicia Toot. Here we
Yes.
go. I'm kidding.
no worries. But there's a shameless plug there about Destiny Wrestling. It is one of the best wrestling shows we have out here. So make sure you guys find a way to tune into that.
Oh yes.
And I'm done.
And actually, speaking of which, they made an announcement. They made an announcement regarding their next show in January on the 29th
Oh yeah, go ahead.
who they're bringing in. So
Go
for
ahead.
those fans up in the, I apologize if I butchered the name of the town, Mississauga.
No, Mississauga.
Mississauga. My apologies.
It's all right.
On Sunday, January 29th,
Yes, sir.
Destiny Wrestling presents New Beginnings and already scheduled to appear. The Motor City Machine Guns.
Hell yeah.
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Let's go. That's gonna be incredible, man.
Yeah, that would definitely be. But I got nothing else to talk about tonight, guys. So I think it's safe to say we can wrap this show up.
I'm good.
Hold on. Yes, Carl.
Brian, you brought up comedy. However, on behalf of the Internet Network, the Around the Rose podcast, and What a Hit Record is, we would like to give our condolences to the legendary actress Christy Alley, who passed away yesterday at the age of 70.
Oh yes. Yes. Damn. What a legendary actor.
And not only that, not only her, but also
we can wrap that up.
well, there's one more actor that passed away.
Also,
that a lot of people don't know. Also, Bob from Sesame Street.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Bob McGrath. Yes.
90 years old. God bless.
Oh wow!
He stopped acting in 2017, but was working behind the scene.
And he was on Sesame Street since the very beginning, the debut episode.
He was one of 4 original cast members.
Yeah, that's insane. So now that we got that out of the way,
yeah, let's wrap this up. Ryan, I'll throw it to you first. Do you have any shows coming up this weekend that you'd like to promote?
so in 2 days in beautiful Lynbrook, New York, Creative Pro Wrestling is teaming up with the Major Wrestling Figures podcast as they present the 2022 Holiday Toy Drive, where on the card we have Swoggle, we have Alex Riley, Tyrus, Super Crazy, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the wrestler Super Crazy. We also have Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, Smart Mark Sterling, Bronson, Max Caster,
oh shit!
and so many more. And folks, again, it's a toy drive event where we're teaming up with the Long Island Toys for Tots. And if you come to the event with a minimum of 2 brand new wrestling figure toys, those count towards your admission for the show. Plus, just like, because I think you know what, I think John's gonna do this. If you bring in 10 or more wrestling figures, brand new, you will get an exclusive 8x10 of the poster. And I believe everyone that's on the poster on the show will sign it. I could be mistaken on the signature part, but you will get an exclusive print, which I know John's probably going on Walmart right now and buying 20 of them because he wants to, get everyone's autograph.
But I
then
that show.
Oh shit! Okay. Then on December 30th, I'm ending 2022, aka my busiest year of announcing, with Invictus Pro Wrestling, with that massive card at the Mecca, Richfield Park, New Jersey, where at this point I should just get a fucking rolling bed and just sleep there because I'm there every other weekend.
You should.
Seriously. And then actually, I can make this announcement official for 2023.
Okay.
On January 7th, 2023, I am stepping back into the MMA cage and making my return since their last event back in June, teaming up with the North American Grappling Association as they present Reality Fighting 106 or 7. It's another night of grappling and MMA action in New England at some place called the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
That's one thing I haven't done is I have not gone to an MMA event yet.
Well, trust me, they're a lot of fun. And also as of right now, February 11th, I'm back in Rahway, New Jersey with WrestlePro, as they are bringing in such powerful names, including Brian Myers, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh,
oh yeah,
and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Really interesting.
You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan_MC92. You can follow me on Instagram at WrestlingMC. For John, you can follow me at MySpace, which is invalid. Invalid at AOL.com.
I thought that was Carl's internet service anyway.
Anyway, and also you can find me on OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. I don't have one yet. But anyway,
Yet.
I am done on my end. And again, folks, I am fucking tired.
Yeah. So for
Gosh,
me,
what about you?
just quickly. You can catch my weekly show on this network. What is a hit record? We go over all the daily happenings in the music industry and all the current events that happen. So tune into that. Right now we do pre-recorded shows, but and they will be posted on our YouTube channel. So stay tuned to that. And I'm good for tonight. Thanks, guys.
And if you guys do not know yet, I'm actually back into writing articles again.
Yeah.
You can find me over at MBS Media. We're on Google. Just search for us. You'll see us. They did have a wrestling section for a while, but I'm kind of bringing that back slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I just had a piece drop a couple days ago. Talking about how 2022 was a crazy year for pro wrestling. I have another piece that's going to drop probably in the next day or so, as soon as I can fix my laptop, about who I think should be the one to dethrone Roman.
Cody, but anyway. That's just my opinion.
No, I don't have Cody on my list.
Really?
I do not have Cody on my list.
This is gonna be interesting. I need to read this.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. If you'd like to know who it is, you're gonna have to look at. You're gonna have to see the article once it gets posted. More likely, if not by the next couple days, by the weekend.
All right.
And again, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at John_Blaine. As far as show stuff coming up, like I said before, we will be live at Ridgefield Park New Year's Eve weekend. Obviously, we'll be there for Invictus. We'll be there for Magic, and who knows what else we'll be there for.
Yeah.
As of now, as far as any big guests, I have nothing that I can confirm as of this current moment.
You guys should just buy an apartment at Ridgefield Park. Holy shit. That's a joke.
But I can mention this, though, that, like I said, depending on schedule-wise, I might be at the Creator Pro show on Thursday.
Yeah.
But then also, Ryan, you're also forgetting, we'll be in Philadelphia in 2 weeks. Or next week.
Well, 16th, right? Is it 16th?
That's right.
You guys forgot to announce that shit, man.
But we're gonna talk about that next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get more into that next week.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Be my first time in the city of brotherly love.
All right. Enjoy, John boy.
Enjoy, John, because it's just a saying. There ain't no love in that city.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I think most fans from Philly are,
I'm not from Philly, so don't add me in there.
I don't want to piss off the entire city of Philadelphia. Thank you very much. Because I see what they do to New Yorkers there. But
they're just jealous. They're just jealous because one New York team has more titles than all of their teams combined.
Yeah, we also know how to spend our money. But on that note, for Costa, for Ryan, and for our producer, Mr. Oompa Loompa himself, I'm John. This has been another installment of the Round Rose Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week. And as always, folks, go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It does wonders for us. If you find us on Facebook, follow the page, like the page, all that. Get the word out there. And like I said, folks, we only got a couple more shows left for us for the year, so things are going to get real interesting.
Yeah. Peace.
But until then, guys, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Ryan, you're an ass.
Later, guys.
Have a good night, guys.